All right. Hey, I think I'm live. Give me a second here to check my signal to see if it's true. I'm going to do some social media posting here real quick and a countdown. And we'll get started here with some artwork this morning. Let's see. Okay, great. It sounds like I've got volume. I'm coming through. Let me get rid of that so it doesn't get in the way. That should be good. I'm going to copy here. We'll grab that link real quick. We're going to do some fast social media posts here, just to say hey to the world. We're up and running. So normally there'd be a countdown that would be happening. You'd be seeing like scrolling numbers and some snazzy music, but I'm not that sophisticated. So I'm just firing off text here and yammering at you guys, but luckily we're done with that. So hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, I publish them online, and I am creating content for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. This is an adventure called Crystals of Mabar. It's for the Eberron campaign setting, characters 7th and 8th level. You're fighting undead, demons, and necromancers, and Carnwood of Karnath on the continent of Corvair in the Eberron campaign setting. This is the book cover that we created around episode 40, and if you... let me fix my monitor here so you can see what's going on. Boop, there we go. Hey, this book cover we created around episode 40, which you can see in the full playlist here, all 448 episodes. If you think artwork today and the other design stuff that I do during the week is cool, consider like, subscribe, and hitting the bell icon for notification of when we're live in the future, which is 9 times per week. Here's a list of some of the books that I've created on the DMsGuild. Here's my Discord community. Patreon support is always appreciated, and all these books are free preview. The Crystals of Mabar will be the same when it gets published. So, getting the cover out of the way, opening this up, we're working on the artifacts. Each artifact that we're creating here corresponds to one of the planes of existence in Eberron. Eye of Mabar, the Endless Night. This is the focus of this adventure, so it's detailed elsewhere. But this is just basically a list of the other 12 planes and some artifacts that can be used to create manifest zones to manifest portals between the worlds. So that's what we're doing here, man. We're making worlds, all of them, better worlds. So let's see, right now we're working on the Sextant of Fernia, the Sea of Fire. See the pun there. I'm being punny, y'all. Let's see, what are you all about? First off, let's add in our references here. Oh, that's Delur. Derp, that's the lantern. I like how this lantern turned out. It emits darkness. Delur, it's the lantern of Delur, the Shadowfell. So Shadowfell, shadow, darkness, a lantern that emits shade instead of light. It's kind of cool, kind of tropey, but I've never actually illustrated it before, even though the idea certainly isn't new. I've never actually executed it, so it's new to me. That's good enough. So let's foreground this fire and see if we can come up with some cool stuff. So I'm going to let's see. We have a reference here. I'm going to try going with this as our fire initially. Starts off white, drops first the blue drops, and then the green drops, and then you're just looking at red at the high end. Yep. So that's how the fire do. It starts off all white, and then the blue drops away, the green drops away, and then the red is all that remains. And when that drops away, you've exceeded into the sky. If you were talking about darkness. You know what? Honestly, I think I kind of like this as our starting point here. I'm trying to suss out how do I want to do this, because the background is very light, and I haven't actually done the background yet. So that's a massive disclaimer. This page color that we're currently using is just a default color. What I need to do is we're working on another illustration off screen right now, but once we finish that, we're going to be working on the trim, the frame for these pages. And once the frame is built, we'll be able to start dropping in backgrounds. I can build a custom background for each of these pages to help better to help pull up. Okay, that's fine. To help pull forward the illustrations from the page, we can manipulate the background. I can have custom backgrounds all I want. Each page can be. I mean, each page is completely different with illustrations and stuff. So I just add in the background to the illustration when I drop it into the photo. When I drop it into the layout in the Word. But right now, obviously, I'm trying to suss through how do I want to be here, and then we'll get to work. So let's see. Maybe I need to start off. Maybe somewhere around here. That's probably not bad. Ooh. Okay, that's probably a good place for us to start. So let's do that. You know what? I'm just going to. Be bold like an American. Sorry, I'm setting myself up here to. I'm going to drop that opacity down like that. And then I'm going to paint over. Cool. I want this to be very, very faint. All right, now we'll be illustrating. Push brush. So yeah, I stream 9 times per week, Monday through Friday in the morning like this. We do an hour and a half, anywhere between an hour and a half, depending on when I can actually get up and running. Artwork like this. This is the next big release that I have. This adventure. It's like 100 pages of shenanigans. I feel like I can use reduce the intensity of the smudge brush to have this fire just kind of bleed into the frame. Hopefully each one of these isn't going to take this long, but we're here for the long haul, folks. I'm being very meticulous here in the beginning, but as we proceed, I should be able to loosen up and let autopilot kick in, and I can just start illustrating without having to worry about what's going on. But the initial shapes that the initial shapes that I have for this they're too thick and bulky. Like some of these are okay, but this front flame here, that's too large of just a block. So I need to trim that down into something that's a little more manageable. So I'm gonna start here like I'm gonna start here like this, and then as we proceed, we'll bleed out the color, make it a little bit more wispy. I'm really fretting over this angle here. But it looks good. I think that looks good. So I think it's worth the effort. Hey, timely timer. That's my 20-minute timer to make sure I stay on target. What is it? 6:53 right now. I've got an hour. We can play for an hour. That's good. Feels pretty good. Let's do similar here. Do I want to do similar here? Is this the right place to put this flame? Maybe yes, maybe no. So right now we've been going over and doing just the basic detail work for each of these pieces, and the goal then is to come back through and do a second sweep. But this is kind of like in that second sweep space. Like this is the kind of detail work that I expect to be doing as the final rendering for each of these artifacts. I'm kind of doing final rendering here out of turn, but we've done of the 12, this is the 10th. So once all 12 are done, I'm just going to sweep back through and do this level of detail anyway. So I figured, well, now that I've got the momentum going on the page, may as well just do the detail for each and just let that. We'll just catch up with the ones that are lagging behind once we get done with these. So there's a process here. This is the 27th episode of me working on this half of the page, and then I had like 30 some odd episodes of the undead army at the other side of the page. This has been as intense of almost as intense an illustration process as the book cover. So I've been starting with God, that looks really cool. Yeah, that is really cool. Okay, we're gonna leave that in place there. Let's do. I think what we're gonna do is foreground fire and background fire. No wonder I was fretting so much over this frame. Baby steps, Ellie. Like this. Yeah, I think I want to play with the frame here too. Some connective tissue stuff here, perhaps. We'll just snake this up the frame. Probably just leave that alone. That feels pretty good. We'll have to wispy that a bit. Let's blend that together there. Yo. I feel like I'm going to listen to the Tomb Raider soundtrack today. That and probably Pink Floyd's Animals. I think those are what I'm going to be listening to during my day job today. So I stream Monday through Friday in the morning like this for artwork, and then on Mondays and Thursday nights I stream system development. We're working on the Bastion campaign to make the DMsGuild, the Dungeon Master Guide's new mechanical system, the Bastion system for creating hideouts, lairs, and fortresses and stuff for players. We've been building that. We've been adding mechanical depth to that system so that it becomes an ability check system instead of instead of a social interaction system where you just tell the DM what you're doing. We're creating risks and rewards, and through that risk reward system, risk and rewards in orders that you issue to your bastion, and through those ability checks, it creates a risk reward system where if you fail the check, complications occur that require some sort of intervention or assistance to complete the task for the bastion, which becomes an adventure hook for the characters. So hence the title Bastion Campaign. You can create an entire campaign around the idea of the characters are troubleshooters for the bastion and from the bastion so the players control the bastion and the actions that the bastions are taking, interacting with the larger world around you at the geopolitical level. It creates complications that can be resolved at the character level. And then on Tuesdays and Fridays at lunchtime here in Seattle, I'll take a break from my job and log in and create additional mechanical systems. We're working on the spell point sorcerers right now, and that's almost done. This is fun. I love doing this type of work. This is so much fun to me. It's so relaxing and meditative. I just get to push pixels and be quiet and listen to noises and just become part of the world. Keep that straight here. I'm really nitpicking these angles, but that's this is me gaining skills. You never complete your progress. You're always building. You're always improving yourself. Artwork is incredibly indicative. It provides tangible, literal evidence of progress of your growth just by looking at what it is that you're doing. Just fill in that gap there like that, and then bring this down here. That looks, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that feels pretty good. I mean, that's some real subtle lighting and shit that we're doing here. But that's what this piece is calling me to do. So I'm heeding the call. I am just a messenger of images. It's gonna look really, really cool. This is gonna look really cool when it's done. See, I don't know how this would be stock art. Like when does somebody need a sextant that's on fire? Although I could get rid of the flames and just like maybe make it a sextant. Go. Leave that all out like that. Yeah, this is going to be a decent base, and we're going to we're really yellow here, so we can put in white along the base here. Now that we're properly defining this frame, we can put red towards the top, white at the bottom, and then do the fade through. As we were looking at earlier, the color fade, but we really need to first establish. Where the hell is that coming from? There it is. Just some incidental remnant laying around that can go. That feels pretty good. Anything else? Any other remnant laying around that needs to be resolved? Potentially. Let's do that. Is that a line issue? Where are you coming from, buddy? Coming from somewhere. There we are. This is starting to make sense now. Very nitpicky. I feel it warrants it. There we go. Straighten up, Granny. There you go. There. Another 20 minutes? I'll live my life 20 minutes at a time. That's one hell of a plank length. That's a lot of Mai Tai. Yeah, okay, that feels good. So that got cleaned up. Let's just keep doing. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. Yeah, next let's create a new layer just so we can stack this stuff up. This little widget bar here can swing. I don't have the groove, but there should be a groove here. That's basically ticking. You tilt this to stay even with the horizon line while you're on the water, so that you can use this tool is designed to help navigate what direction are you moving in, and like blah blah blah. So the arm swings as you calibrate it to the to the shift in horizon during the course of the year. I mean, that helps you maintain your latitude and longitude. I don't know all of the processes that go into it. I just know that's how it works. Like vaguely. I don't know how to do it. I just know what it does and why it does it. Big difference. I have what you call a theoretical understanding of sextant. I do not have a practical working knowledge of it because I've never actually used one. I think my nib in my yeah, my nib is starting to get shaped. I'm gonna have to replace it sometime soon. Probably in the next month. I'll have to put a new nib in. I've got. You could, if you have to, you can use a piece of spaghetti. An uncooked piece of spaghetti will work. But it's not. Well, you know, depending on width, it could be linguine. Anyway. It's almost due for a new sprig of pasta. That's all I'm trying to say. It wears down over time. The friction on the board with the pin causes the nib to wear away. If they had made this this nib like metal or something, it would eventually cut a groove into the tablet surface. So I think the nib, this nib is a softer material than the pen and the board, so that as the friction occurs, the nib burns down, like eventually, like what's the word? Erodes. Thank you. And the nib erodes over time, so you got to replace the nib, and it'll last for. This nib has lasted probably a year. That's probably on point with where most nibs are at, and I've got like a dozen or so of them, so I won't have to worry about buying new nibs until my 60s. But I'll want to stockpile them enough so that they'll outlive me. I haven't considered it, but it would be elegant if when I die I run out of I'm on my last nib. Let's do like this. Like this patch through here, that'll be a good place to have white and then fade out. But these things are accumulating. I can see why I had so much mass on the original version. If I'm not careful, I'm just gonna keep adding volume, to these flames until they don't look flame-like anymore. They become characters. So I have to be mindful of that. But I think this is better than the original. So at least there's that. Fun. Okay, so we're going to fade this up into here. Let's merge these down. Remember when we spent 20 episodes on the water flow in the underground dungeon? That was great. I like that map, though. It's a cool map. I like how this is turning out. Just like, there we go. I like that. This feels a little thin and overly arced, so I probably need to bring this in. This is how these things get so thick. They start looking for what's the natural, like a river. How does the fire flow from piece to piece of the frame? And it keeps getting thicker as I work out the angles and try to curve into stuff a little more smoothly without being overly exaggerated, but maybe over-exaggeration is what I need sometimes to help prevent it from getting too bulky. I'm like, oh, I'll knock this out in like an episode. Maybe not. All right, let's kick on over to the other side. Starting at the bottom, just going to work our way up the frame until the amount of flame density feels good. like I said, I started intermittent fasting again. And so currently Monday is my day of fasting. I might make Thursday my day of fasting as well. I'm not sure. I need 2 days of fasting, and I haven't quite worked out how I want my schedule to do that. I feel like I'm going to eat food today. So I'm currently having 1 meal a day and then fasting 2 days a week. There we go. And I was 231 pounds on Sunday, and I'm down to 227 and a half now. So I've already lost over 2 pounds, which is good. I need to get down to like 205. Technically, at 6 foot tall, with the thick frame that I have, I should. I think the national numbers say that I should be at 50. I should be like around 186 pounds. But that's really, really thin. So I find myself looking my best like around 195, 200 pounds. I'm just kind of a big guy, like broad, thick. Patience here is what we need. Much patience. Ooh, that makes sense. Curve that fire around the flame. Frame the fire around the frame. There. Little lump. It's a little too thick. You need to thin this down. Thank you, Timely Timer. Living my life 20 minutes at a time. Last year, I participated in a YouTube community event called Kraken Week, and it was in July. This year, it's going to be Dragon Week, and it's in April. It's like in, what is this, the 9th? It's the 22nd is when I think is when we start dropping content. Yeah. 22nd is when we start dropping content. So I'm going to be making a video about Dragonflight and aerial battles, like pursuits, using the movement system in the Spelljammer book that I had published. It was meant for scaling speeds, like vehicle, like Infernal War Machines that can go 50 miles per hour, for example, or Spelljammer ships that can go 100 million miles per day. It was the system was developed to provide 5e game engine mechanics to be able to operate tactical combat at high speeds like this. And so it has practical application outside of Spelljammer mechanics themselves. And Dragonflight is one of them. So I'll be doing a video about high-speed Dragonflight, and we'll be posting that as a recorded video, not as a live stream. So I'll be working on that. And oh man, it's almost May. I'm going to be taking a week off of work in May. The 21st, Monday the 21st through Friday the 25th. Maybe I'll go from Thursday the 17th. Maybe I'll take the 17th, 18th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th off. Something like that. But I take a week off work in May, and then another week off in December. At the end of the year, there's not much work I have to. Not a lot of work gets done. There's not a lot of agencies, marketing agency activity that happens between Christmas and New Year. So it's a good time for me to take a week off of work and give myself the present of being a full-time content producer. But I do the same in May. My birthday is in May. I am a Taurus. In case astrology means anything to you, it doesn't really mean anything to me. I don't really track astrology. I think it's cute, and it's fun. It's fun to muse about. Kind of like how talking about alignment in D&D is fun to talk about. I'd say horoscopic activity is about the same, or like color pie. Like astronomy is like real world color pie, but there's 12 colors instead of just 5. Very complicated. Of course, the real world's more complicated than games. Of course, it is. Oh my god, my belly is so noisy. It's making... Whoa, where'd you go, buddy? There we go. This is so insignificant on the page. it's ridiculous. Here, for those that haven't seen the full Monty. There. This is the 16 by 9 page format that I'm using for this adventure. There we go. If you full screen your device, you'll see that this page is full screen, and I bet you can read everything on the page very easily. The 12-point font, the base text, the body text is 12-point font. And as you can see on the sextant up there in the corner over here, these details are imperceptible, but it's a PDF. So you can scale in and actually look at the details of this stuff, which is why I want to make sure I do it good, because you can get really close. I'm gonna scream real loud. Yeah, it feels pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's go with that. And then we're over here again, doing these things. Let's thicken this up a bit. So the flames are riding up along the rail. I play a couple games of chess every day, and I am at my elo. I'm almost stabilized in an 800 elo. I've hit elo 800 a couple times, but I've fallen back again because I'm not good enough in chess yet to defeat 850 plus typically. Still a challenge for me. I'm still learning mistakes like how to. How to keep myself from boxing a piece in, or like overcommitting, or getting forked, stuff like that. I'm still figuring that stuff out. When I was in college, I played a lot of chess, but I didn't know any strategy behind it. And now that and I kind of just got out of it. You know, like I was a coffee shop chess kind of guy. There's a few people in college that were also chess enthusiasts, so I got into a little ring of coffee gents that we'd sit down, we'd just hammer out some chess for a couple hours occasionally, and my life got busy, and I just ended up fading away from the coffee shops, and with it, I lost track of chess, and I wasn't studying any openings. I just was working off of instinct, and when you're younger like that and you're running across people that aren't skilled, intuition can sometimes win you the day. But taking it seriously, professionally, I am seeing chess is serious business. And it's pretty addictive. It is a competitive sport where if you lose, it is literally your fault. You can't blame anyone else. There's a shitload of accountability that goes into chess, and it's like, I'm a huge backgammon enthusiast, but backgammon is a mix of luck and then knowing how to capitalize on the luck of the dice. And I joke about, I don't really joke about it, but I talk about being able to feel how the dice move and how it's really magical. But the dice can work against you. There is luck, and you can be defeated just by dumb chance. That's why you have to play multiple games to be able to try to weed out the luck to work on the skill. But interesting. So backgammon to me is more like playing instruments, right? It's not really, unless there's some sort of grudge going on or someone's being weird and I don't know who they are. Backgammon is just relaxing to me. It's just fun, and I don't have any real, like, winning and losing. Of course I want to win occasionally, but I'm good enough that I do win occasionally against pretty much anybody. But chess isn't like that at all. I aspire to get good enough at chess that I can stream chess games. I like talking about processes, and I watch a lot of chess streams on the side. Like when I'm while I'm painting, I'll at home, if I'm not listening to music, I'll be listening to people's commentary about like different type of chess strategies and stuff like that. That's relaxing entertainment to me. But I aspire to get good enough to be able to start actually playing chess on a channel. I might actually launch a separate channel eventually. But I'm not good enough yet. I have to actually get good to be able to do that. And by good, you have to hit like I need to hit like a 2000. Like if I can get to 2000 elo, I can probably start streaming games. Hey Fox, how you doing? Because I don't want to stream games if I'm not actually good. Like, if I can get to a competitive level, then me winning and losing is like, yeah, you take your lump, that's cool. But being able to understand things, like being able to operate at a 2000 elo means like you're like really good. Like you've really figured out how the game works. You're not going to do stupid stuff. Right? And the 2500, 2700 elo chess players that I watch, they make stupid mistakes sometimes too. But they just own it. They don't care. Like, yeah, I'm gonna lose this game. That was a mistake. But the type of mistakes that they make are like, like really far down the line. Like it's not just like, oops, I just blundered my queen out of nowhere. It's like, no, it's like I got set up and I should have seen this coming 6 moves ago, but I missed it. And they're really good about owning, taking credit for their own mistakes as much as they take credit for opponing people. So that is a place that I would like to get to. Hey, what's up? Chess, a great game about Indian warfare that didn't represent actual warfare at all. So the math in the game is amazing, though. I love, like, when you're playing a good game of chess, it's amazing. Because like all the pieces just like when you're moving, I guess you can call it like moving. What's the right word? Like being in the zone. When you're in the zone with chess, it's like all your pieces just naturally just line up so they're protecting each other, and you can advance the pieces forward across the board and create these traps where all the pieces are self-reinforcing each other. And the gaps where your opponent is naturally going to move into positions that feel right to them end up being, traps. They're it's bait. Like you hear this term like baiting people into moving to positions that feel like their natural progressions of their where their board state is at. Board state is like where all the pieces are positioned. So they'll see how they can progress their board state, but it's actually baiting them into taking those moves to trap themselves and lose assets. So I'm speaking blah blah blah. Oh my God! Hey Fox, I meant to ask you, and I didn't get around to it, but I knew that you said that you were excited to fight the zombie Tyrannosaurus, and I don't know. I didn't get any feedback from you, but I was actually interested in was that a fun fight? It's a CR8 monster, which is nearly with the amount of zombies that it was throwing up and attacking you guys with was a deadly encounter for 4 characters. And I could have been doing more damage than I did, but I dropped the damage die off of its attacks because I almost one-shotted Nightmare. So I'm like, with only three of you being there, there wasn't, I wasn't able to divide up the action economy between the boss attacks to be able to disperse the damage. So I reduced. I kind of when I know how many people are going to be showing up, like it's typically going to be 3 or 4 people that are attending. So I have to adjust the challenge accordingly, because 4 people can take 33% more punishment than 4 can. Rather, 4 players can take 33% more punishment than 3 players can. And when I'm designing deadly level encounters, I have to be a little cautious about how that is. So I scaled back on like what the actual stats on the CR8 Tyrannosaurus was, and instead I added in more CR2 zombies. What's up? Yeah, it was good. Glad I'm here. It did not feel very dangerous to my character, but yeah, Nightmare was in trouble. I enjoyed how the battle was going on outside and inside the monster at once. Yeah, that was fun. It was a good mix. I'm not necessarily patting myself on the back with it, but I think you built your character well to mitigate hits. So luckily we're dropping down to lower levels, and you guys are a higher level character. So as your characters gain level, the environment changes, and with the change in the environment, the change in creatures. So there's an opportunity for me to start mixing up and adding in new challenges that you haven't seen before. So, but I know that you're contemplating swapping out characters, which I would definitely encourage for the sake of the test. Though your barbarian's fucking a wrecking machine. It's fucking sick. I love it. Dude, I'm really excited about the sorcerer that we the storm sorcerer rebuild that we made for the color mana system. That is just, it wasn't updated for 2024. So we're taking all the Forsaken subclasses from 2014 and we're updating them to 2024 using the mana systems that I've developed. And yeah, that sorcerer is sick. I like how being able to weave together multiple meta magics together can create different control effects for the sorcerer. I'm contemplating the introducing full caster. So we're 5th level right now. We're going to be in the playtest. So we're going to be pulling in. I'm going to be allowing for full casters starting at level 6, but the game's tempo has been pretty much locked in on short rests. And the full casters mana pool operates because the martial characters that we're developing, they all regain mana on short rests, while the full casters are built around long rest mana pools. So they have larger mana pools that they can burst with, but the format of the game is very much let's do some adventuring, have some combats, let's take a short rest. So we're able to replenish our mana supply and get our hit points boosted back up, and then attack and then keep attacking the dungeon, which is how 5e is designed. That is the intention of 5e design. So I'm very happy that the structure of the playtested campaign is very much as intended for how the game loop works, but I'm still contemplating how do we how to incorporate the full casters, because if we have like one or two, like if we have like typically we can have like one rest, we can have like 2 maybe 3 outside chance 4 battles in the 3 hours. Like we realistically have about 3 hours worth of game time. And so we, between exploration and contemplating stuff and navigating the dungeon and looking for traps and like secret passages and shit, and then, you know, assessing loot that you guys find, we probably get through about 3 combats per session. And that's good for a short rest. You know, you can get through 1, you know, you get through 2. Maybe after 2 or 3, you know, you're going to take a rest, and if it's 3, we're probably done with our day anyway, so just retreat back. But if we maintain that same pace with the full mana supply off the full casters, they're just going to be able to Nova Burst stuff, knowing that they only have to worry about dumping their mana load after 2 or 3 battles. So they'll be able to ramp higher level spell. Like, we're 5th level, they're going to be able to spam 3rd level spells, like a 6th level sorcerer. Once we get access to the full casters, a 6th level sorcerer has 26 mana, and it only costs 3 mana to cast a 3rd level spell, and then you can tack on another 2 points for meta magic and modifications. So a sorcerer can technically throw 5 full bore, like maximum impact fireballs, or any like lightning bolts, or whatever 3rd level spell effect you prefer, but can do 5 of those per day, plus a 1st level spell. They don't have they can't generate mana with their action economy like marshals can, which is a massive divide between how the 2 systems operate, and I think is a great way to demonstrate how marshals can have just as much impact and punch as full casters can. But the full casters, their power is expressed by high mana expenditures, because they're ramping a new spell level every 2 levels they gain a new spell level, as opposed to the half casters gain a new spell level basically every 5 levels, every 4 levels. So hence the term half casters, because their progression is half. They cap at 5 mana, while our full casters cap with 10 mana per spell possible. And so I'm thinking, like, if you play a martial character, we'll have to, if we have a full caster added to the mix, then we'll probably have to like half the amount of mana that they would have to represent them having already burned through some of their mana, considering that we're going to have like at most probably 1 short rest per session, and a lot of the half casters, a lot of the full casters have a short rest mechanic that allows them to regain at least some mana. So we'll probably just hamstring them with, like, start off with half your mana, and then use your resources and your refresh mechanics and lean into the short rest to be able to restore your stuff. Like druids and wizards can like regain half their level in mana per, like, once per day during a short rest, something like that. So the full casters are encouraged to take a break, just like the martial characters are, which works well for the tempo of the game. But I'm very interested. I think we've had an opportunity to see a decent range of abilities on the martial characters here in isolation. So So there's that, TM. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that was, when you brought that up, I was like, ooh, I want to make sure this is a satisfying battle. But, so I'm glad you had fun with it. Even if Bodvar wasn't at mortal peril, his team was, which means that you had to pay attention to your action economy to keep your team alive, and that's all that really matters. As long as somebody's being threatened, then the whole team starts to worry about them surviving the threat. But you also want to make sure, like as a DM, that you're not picking on the runt, as it were. Nightmare is hardly the runt of the litter. I'm just being colloquial. Oops. Yeah, I don't need to do that. Let's put that back into place. But yeah, 5th, 6th level, the damage on monsters starts to ramp up because the amount of experience that your team can take on in a challenge rating at once, really it literally jumps, it doubles from 4th to 5th level. It's a crazy spike in but you know, like your marshals, you get a secondary, you get a second attack at 5th level. The full casters get access to the 3rd level spells, where the design team has admitted that like they overclocked damage that fireball can do because it's iconic. You know, I don't agree with that decision, but it's what they did. So the team gets access to gets a serious upgrade in power at 5th level. That's your first like massive power spike. There's a bit of a power spike at 3rd level when people get subclasses, but I mean, like the real spike is 5th level, and then 11th level is your next spike, mainly for full casters getting 6th level spells, but like the fighter gets a 3rd attack at 11th level, which is, if you're using magical equipment like we are, that is no small thing. Yeah, I like that. That looks really cool. And where are we at on oh shit, it's 8:02. I gotta go. I didn't realize my timer's off. It's 8:02. I gotta bounce. So that. I guess that's gonna be it for the day. We're gonna come back and we're gonna finish off all these. Maybe I'll work on some of these tonight a little bit when I'm taking a break from the campground. But we've made progress on the campfire, and I just don't have time to show it. So I got to bounce for now. I'll be out for the day. I'll be back tomorrow morning. See you guys on the other side. Fox, thanks for hanging out, my man. Cheers.